Hey, subscribe to this channel and don't forget to ring that bell. Because when you ring that bell, you get all my recipes right away, including today's recipe. Hey, today's recipe is one of those recipes that you use all the time. Could change your life. Breakfast. That's right. You know, I get up in the morning, I'm tired. I don't feel like thinking about what am I going to make for breakfast? What am I going to make for breakfast? What can you have for breakfast? Oatmeal's good. Can you have eggs every day? I don't think so. So what are you going to have for breakfast? Here's a great idea. So let's get cooking. Hey, today's breakfast, very simple. Peanut butter and jelly, okay? But jelly's not the greatest thing. There's no fat in jelly, but there's a lot of sugar. And sometimes some stabilizers and chemicals and whatnot. So you gotta be careful. Peanut butter, a lot of fat. So I'm gonna show you a little trick on how to make peanut butter low fat. And jelly, make it yourself. Very easy. Anyone could do it, even you. So my favorite jelly is actually preserves. Preserves are more like chunky fruit in it. And my favorite preserves are strawberry preserves. And the problem is, to make strawberry preserves, you have to cook down the strawberries. So you need to start with a lot of strawberries. And I need to find a place I can buy 2 pints of strawberries at a reasonable price. That's why I go to Costco. Woo, look at that. That's a lot of strawberries. Okay, so I have here a quart of strawberries. That's 2 pints. I gotta clean them up. I gotta take the tops off and give them, just slice them a couple of times just so they're not so big. And put them in a pot and cook them down. Here we go. Okay, so what I want to do is just cut the top off and give it a couple of slices. Okay, there you go. Now I'm going to have to wash these, okay? And what I'm going to do is I have to add a little water to these when I cook them. Otherwise they may burn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash them, drain them, but not like shake them good and dry. I'm just going to drain them and then put them in a pot. So a little water that's attached to the strawberries is the water I need to add to the strawberries. Oh yeah, that's good. Don't want to work too hard. Want to take it easy a little bit. That's the way to make strawberry jam. Woo! Awesome. Okay, so here's my pot. And you can see how wet those strawberries are, right? A little wet. That's good. Okay, the only thing I'm going to add now is 1/3 cup of sugar. That's good. And the sugar I'm using today is coconut sugar. That's a brown sugar. Unrefined. Good stuff. Nice flavor. A little bit healthier than white sugar. Okay, I have this on medium. And I'm going to keep my eye on it. Mix it around a little bit. Hey, I have this on a low fire, and every like 10 minutes or so I'm going to come and give it a stir. As it gets like cooked and thickened and broken down, I can give it a stir maybe a little more often. But every 10-15 minutes or so, give it a stir. Very nice. You want this to break down and thicken up. Beautiful. Alright. Okay, it's been about a half hour. Hey, this may take more or less time, but this should be the end result. Woo, look at that. That's good. See, there's like sliced strawberries that are kind of broken down, and the liquid's kind of the consistency of a heavy cream. Woo, that's nice. Okay. 2 tablespoons of flaxseed I'm going to add. The flaxseed's going to thicken up this jam and make it into like a jam. Woo, going to be beautiful. I'm going to add the flaxseed, put in a container, and refrigerate it overnight. And in the morning, it's going to be beautiful strawberry jam. And then we're going to make our breakfast with it. Oh, yeah, it's going to be delicious. Okay, I'm going to put this in a container. I'm going to refrigerate this. Hey, good morning. I didn't even put my chef jacket on. I'm still wearing my pajamas. It's early here, and I'm ready for some breakfast. I got the news on in the background. My wife's watching the news. That's great. I don't watch the news. I just talk to my wife. She watches the news and tells me what's going on. Hey, that's a little lazy, but hey, I still get the news, you know? All right, here we go. This is the consistency of the jelly, all right? Looks kind of good. Yeah, it looks good. Hey, if it's a little too, I only add 2 tablespoons of flaxseed. If it's a little too thin, add another half a tablespoon or even a tablespoon. Just mix it in, put it back in the refrigerator for a half hour, and it'll thicken up a little more. You want to get the consistency so that it doesn't run off your English muffin, stays on there nice. It's good jam, man. It's not like overly sweet. You got a nice strawberry flavor, very well balanced. What about the peanut butter? Notice the big size. I put it next to my head. You see that? It's about the same size as my head. That's a big size. Costco. And I use a lot of it, so I like to get the big size. If you don't use too much, go to your grocery store. They have a smaller size. If you use a lot, go to a place like Costco where you can get a bigger size. Okay, I always use 2 tablespoons I start with. That's fine. And 2 you see that? 2 really heaping tablespoons. Okay, and then I have about half the amount of water. I'm going to use about 1 tablespoon of water. And just give it a mix. You see that? Too dry. Add a little bit more. Still too dry. And I add very little bit at a time, because all of a sudden it's going to be a perfect consistency. I don't want to get it too loose. Okay, so for me, that's good. That's perfect. Nice consistency. Okay, so that's good. Very nice. Okay, here's the dope on this peanut butter. It tastes just like good peanut butter, okay? But the texture is not there because the fat's not there. When they process this peanut butter into powder form, they get rid of like 90% of the fat. So you get the good peanut flavor, but not the fat. And that's good. Okay, so wonderful in smoothies. On a peanut butter jelly sandwich, I get that peanut butter flavor. If you really need the that fat texture, you can't do without it, you have to use regular peanut butter. That's the way it is. Let's make the sandwich. Hey, before we make the sandwich, you know what we gotta do? We gotta get the bread. You need special bread. You can't use regular bread. It's not a regular sandwich. For this, I'm using Dave's Killer Bread. That's my go-to bread, right? Very delicious, very nutritious, very wholesome bread. Okay, so Dave's Killer Bread. They make an English muffin, 2 varieties. This is the variety I use. It's got a lot of grains in it. That's good. It gives me a nice texture. Okay, so look at that. Because I have a toaster here that has a bagel setting. This bottom button right here, the bottom one, that's the bagel setting. And what that'll do is just toast the cut side of the English muffin. Hey, that gives me a great soft texture on the bottom and crispiness on top. That's very nice. So I put the cut side in the middle of the toast oven like that, facing each other. And I hit that bottom button. Hey, you see that red light went on? That means it's on bagel mode. That's fantastic. Okay, so that's going to take a few minutes to toast. While that's toasting, I'm going to make some coffee. Man, my coffee's awful. But I got a machine. I got what's that machine called? It makes these, listen, that machine makes better coffee than I do. So it's a good machine. Gotta have a good cup of coffee in the morning. Anyway, so I'll make my coffee with my Keurig, and then have it with my English muffin breakfast. The jam, nice. Good flavor. Healthy. Not too much sugar, and it's a better sugar than just white sugar. The peanut butter, low fat. The muffin, whole grains. Woo! This is shaping up to be something special. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Let the toast toast, let the coffee brew. We got it going on here. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes, and the toast is just about to pop. Wonderful. Okay, it just popped. Check that out. Nice and toasted. Don't wait for it to cool down. Let's get this going right away. Okay, I put the peanut butter down first. A nice spoonful on each one. Smear it around. Woo, that's nice. And a nice spoonful of this jam. And then I said, hey, I gotta eat this right away. I wanna eat it while it's hot. But don't forget one thing. Nice cup of coffee. All right. Okay, so I love this. I love this breakfast. Very easy. That's the whole point. You get up in the morning, like you don't want to have to struggle with your food. Just get up and have a healthy breakfast. Just like my date nut bread. You can make it the day before, wrap it up, and next morning have a nice slice with a cup of coffee. It's a very healthy breakfast. You gotta check out that date nut bread recipe video. Wonderful stuff. Hey, you have a great day. So delicious. I know my wife's gonna steal this from me as soon as she's finishing watching the news. I better eat it quickly. Yeah. I'll see you at the next video.